Hey comic fans, Scott Harris King here, and today I've got a new haul of comics that I've collected from here and there on my various travels and whatnots. So, before I get into that, I just want to mention I've got a link down below. I've got a new Kickstarter. That's an old Kickstarter. It's Cthulhu vs. Uncle Sam number 1 and 2, which I've previously published before through Kickstarter, but this time we've got all new variant covers that are designed to look like the classic 1986 Marvel 25th anniversary covers. So we're bringing those out. This is kind of to fund that. If you missed Cthulhu vs. Uncle Sam number 1 and 2 the first time, this is a perfect time to jump aboard. But let me show you all the cool stuff that I got here. So, got a couple different things. I'm going to start with some stuff I got off a Kickstarter, beginning with this comic called Black Falcon. This is issues 3 and 4. I've already got the previous 2 issues before. It's by a guy named Max Hauser. And you can see this here. So the artist is a guy by the name of Samir Samau, and Max has made the interesting decision to do the whole thing in black and white, including the covers. And here's issue 4. So again, he decided to do everything in black and white, which is an interesting choice. I mean, I love black and white comics. It is a little unusual to have the cover in black and white as well. I will say that doing a comic in black and white is a lot cheaper when you're self-publishing stuff. It makes a major difference in the cost per unit of doing it. But generally speaking, the covers are usually expected to be in color. So anyway, it's just an interesting creative choice. I want to say also that like Samir's art is really excellent, which is great because he's working with me right now. He's doing the next issue of Cthulhu vs. Uncle Sam number 3. So he's currently in the process of drawing that. I am going to be really curious to see what his art looks like when you have his line work here, but I'm adding the super bright colors because I've really only seen his stuff in the black and white. But it'll be interesting to find out. Now, I also want to, of course, show the new issue of, you guessed it, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of Miskatonic High from Mike Shea and Ryan Mendoza. It's on issue 25 now. This is issue 24, just arrived. All of them on Kickstarter over the last 6 years. So, like, they are really putting them out like clockwork. Basically quarterly, a new issue of Miskatonic High. 25 is live right now on Kickstarter. I've already backed that. So that's why you see so many of this coming in on these haul videos, is because they're just putting them out so much. So it's a big inspiration to me, the fact that they've been able to put out so many issues of this, and it's so steady and it's good. So again, Miskatonic High, always excited to get a new issue of that. He also does trading cards, and I've got a complete run of the comic, but he does a lot of trading cards. So let me get this out here, because I think this is like, I don't have even a quarter of the trading card. Yeah, this is card number 71 in the set here. I don't know if you can see. Let me try it. It can't seem to focus, but anyway, it's card number 71. I've probably got 15 of them maybe, but it would be cool to get the whole set of those. So I was always excited to read a new issue of Miskatonic High. Now, the rest of the stuff I'm going to show you comes from a trip that my wife and I took over Christmas. We're big Christmas people. Our anniversary is also just before Christmas, like the week of Christmas. And so a lot of times we'll go away. Plus she works in education, so she gets a Christmas break. So all of those things combined, we a lot of times go on Christmas trips where we're going, here in New England, it's the Christmasiest place around. And there's all these towns, there's these gorgeous towns that have all the Christmas lights, and they have all these Christmas events and Christmas venues and stuff. So this is probably the 3rd time, maybe even the 4th time, that we've basically done a trip where we're just going to Christmas towns. The towns, when you like Google Christmas, what are the best Christmas towns? We've been hitting all of them. This time we were back in Connecticut and in Western Mass, which we've been before, but we hit up some new places. So let me show you some stuff we got here. One of the places we've been to before is a fantastic museum. It's the Norman Rockwell Museum. Now that's in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. It's right off Interstate 90. The Mass Pike goes right through there. And Stockbridge is famous for a couple reasons. The song Alice's Cafe, which older viewers will know is a famous song. That's based in Stockbridge, and I actually visited Alice's Cafe. It just closed a little while ago, but the building's still there, so we saw that. But also Norman Rockwell had painted a Christmas scene of Stockbridge that was super famous, of the main drag there. So there's all these little shops and stuff, but the museum itself is absolutely fantastic. Lots of great exhibits. They do a lot of exhibits that are about basically commercial art, specifically periodical art. So like when we were there, they had an exhibit of the original art of someone that had done a bunch of like New Yorker magazine covers. I was kicking myself though because we just by like 3 weeks missed a big Mad Magazine exhibit they were doing there, where they had a bunch of Mad Magazine original art and Spy vs. Spy stuff and all sorts of cool Mad Magazine stuff. So that was too bad, but they did have some of the merchandise still left. So I got a couple things at the gift shop. Here's the Alfred E. Newman for President 2024 What Me Worry buttons. So that was $1. These are actually all $1. And then this is super cool. I know some of you are really going to love this. They had Mad fold-in postcards. So it's a postcard, but it's got a fold-in, and it's you can see here the it's not perforated, but it's got bends in it so that you can fold it. So it's great. Obviously, I didn't want to actually fold it because I don't want to bend it up. But there were 2 of these, so we got this, and they were just $1 each because all the Mad merchandise was sort of on discount since the exhibit had ended. And here's the other one. It's got the Al Jaffe art with the Mad fold in, and again you can write up the postcard, send this to someone, and then they can fold it up when they get there. I thought about buying more of them because they're so cool, but I got 1 of each. So that was really cool to get those. Finally, we just south of Stockbridge, like, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe, is the town of Great Barrington, which is a super cool town right on US 7. Really cool, super artsy. All of these little art studios and antique stores and like collectives with little knickknacks and little shops and all these great little like indie restaurants and stuff like that. Really, totally our vibe. Absolutely loved it there. Got a lot of cool stuff there. But there's also a really cool, right on the main drag, a really cool used bookstore called the Yellow House Bookstore. And they had some comics. Now, I went in there and I was looking for some of my teen detective novels as well, because, you know, I'm a big fan of things like The Three Investigators and Trixie Belden, so I'm trying to get those books, and this seemed like the perfect place. They actually had a whole section with all the Nancy Drew books and all that stuff, but unfortunately they didn't have any Trixie Belden or Three Investigators in stock when I was there. But they did have something adjacent from the early 80s, which I had to pick up. Super relevant these days. Here it is, the AI Gang number 3, and this is about a group of like science nerd kids who solve mysteries using robots or something. And here's what the front says: the AI Gang, artificial intelligence versus human know-how. The AI Gang races to save a robot from a double dose of spies. And then the back of the book says, when 2 spies stop at nothing to sabotage a secret computer-generated project, 6 genius kids form their own group to track down the disguised agents. Calling themselves the AI Gang for artificial intelligence, they develop their own brilliant methods of computer communication, along with a plan to send a robot into space. But just as these kids are about to launch a musical robot that will keep space satellites in harmonious balance. I'm just reading it. I'm not creating it. Don't blame me. I'm just reading this. 3 of the gang are trapped inside the robot's launch silos against their will. Can the rest of the gang outwit 2 master spies by saving their friends before they're shot into orbit? Robot Trouble. Which I guess is the name of the actual, is Robot Trouble. So, fantastic. I love that sort of thing. Excited to add that to my collection. But finally, there were some comics there. I only bought a couple of them. They're $3 each. And to be fair, this one, the first one I'm going to show you, is really trashed. It's probably not worth $3. But, because it's the top of the book is split from about 2/3 of the way up. The spine is split and some of the interior pages are split. It's just really rough. But I love the cover and the cover design, and you know how much I like fantasy comics, so I had to pick it up. It's showcase number 82, the first appearance of Nightmaster. Now, this is a Joe Kubert fantasy, and I love the design of this cover with the showcase down the side, the giant DC thing here, and the logo. Like, I just love the way this is laid out. Absolutely love this. Of course, I've seen this cover before online or whatever, so I'm familiar with it, but I've never owned a copy. And for $3, I just had to have it. You know, as beat up as it is, put this in a nice new sleeve, bag it and board it, and it's gonna look tremendous. It does also have a big tape pull up here, but just I love the design of this, and obviously the art's great because Joe Kubert's fantastic. So even though it's really trashed, I'm pleased with that purchase. And then I was also really pleased with this because it's an issue of Archie that I actually needed from my checklist. Now, I've got Archie, I think, 155 and up, and by up I mean from 155 to 714. So, like, I'm getting there, and my big goal with Archie is to get issues 50 and up, and I have almost all of the keys from that. I have issue 50, I have 53, I have 78, and I have 100, I have 101, I have 115, I have sort of the big keys. So but there's still a lot of filling in to do, and that includes this here. It's Archie number 140. Let me see if I can get this at a different angle. So here it is, Archie number 140, a classic 12 center, not too long out, maybe a couple years after they went to 12 cents. So early 60s, I want to say like 62, 63 maybe. And, anytime you can get something from this era, it's worth picking up because this is sort of prime Archie. The period just like from say late 50s to mid 60s for me is kind of peak Archie. Once the cartoon got popular in the late 60s and they started putting out a ton of stuff, it really started getting watered down because they were putting it out to a broader audience and they wanted to sand it off all the rough edges. But the 10 years before that are just great. So I was really excited to get this. Another one off my checklist. I still have quite a ways to go to fill in like that issues 50 to 150. I would say I probably only have about a third of those, but I am making progress on that, and it's always exciting when I can check another one off my list, especially as cheap as that for $3. So that's it for this haul. Next time around, I'm going to show you stuff from another trip that I got. 3 comic book stores that I went to in Michigan and got some really cool stuff. Some great stuff. I visited some really cool stores. So that's next time. This time, that's it. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you next time.